Hello and welcome back to Yonder World. Leave a like and a comment if you have enjoyed this video. I can't even recall what the dream was about. How do mortals deal with this? Lurching forward to bow my face onto my knees, I let out a dry sob. This can't go on. I need to go home. At least I now have the tools to attempt the reparations of my device. It will take some time, but it's something I can manage. I hope. It gives me something to do, something to work towards aside from my foolish deception. Just gotta keep chipping at it. There we go, Velerus. Keep on chipping at the task at hand. Right, who do we stay? Do we go to the phone room? Do we go to the dining room? Or do we go into the research hall? We're going to the research hall. Taking a deep breath, I put my hand onto the handle and push. Not quite ready, but still going forward to face my next day. To my utter surprise, Axel and Cassius are both here alongside Deverell, and they're both staring at me. Why am I the subject for today? Before I could utter a word, Cassius snickers. There she is, the angel of the hour, Cassius. No need to be so on edge, your majesty. We're here for the same thing. What's going on? Why, we are thinking about what to do with your lying little ass, of course. But it feels like the ground is opening up under me. My heart seized and my knees knocked together at the intensity of the stares directed at me. No, And she denies it even now. Angels, am I right? Oh, we've only got one choice? What the heck? Like, why would it give us a choice there if there wasn't going to be two of them, or more than that? Fear makes a great nemesis of dignity. I fall to my knees, tears streaming down my face as I know my end is imminent. Please, I know what I've done is wrong. I don't mean to deceive. I didn't know where I was. I was scared. I said the first thing that came to my mind. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I didn't know how to get out of it. You could have stopped lying. Asking for an angel to stop lying? Milady, you are giving her too much credit. I didn't mean for it to get so out of hand. I'm sorry for the troubles, of course, but I really just want to go home. And bring your battalions here? Fat chance. I'd never. Shindu, understand that Yonder has accepted. I understand this much more than anyone else would have accepted. However, one cannot help someone who does not wish to help himself. Someone, desperate having claims as most righteous creation, has actively deceived the one who has so graciously allowed them to live. I had no choice. No choice? You are so conceited to think Deverell would be deceived by your lies. To play the angel's advocate, I only allowed her to live because of her lie. Oh, I snapped my eyes towards Deverell, desperate hope blooming in my chest. Deverell, please, I didn't mean for this to go on for so long, I know. But as this is a mistake of your part, perhaps letting you stay here is a lapse in Yonder in my judgment as well. No! Please, Deverell, please! Cassius. Like a predatory bird holding on its prey, Cassius whirls around a maniacal grin on his face. No! I scramble backwards onto my hands and rump until my back is flat against the door. My screams fall to deaf ears. I wrestle with the door handle, but it doesn't budge. Still Cassius advances. No hard feelings, Nugget. No! Gosh, we're going to be doomed to this day. And, yep, it was quick. Merciful, but painful. There is no light. Just the eternal night of Yonder. That was a rather quick end. The eternal depth of darkness as I fall. What kind of outcome? We got a bad end, most definitely. So, we need to make some different choices. Interfere. Wait! That's it? You're just going to kill someone? Indeed. She speaks out of turn. I don't understand why you're tolerating the sorry excuse of a creature. Killing is wrong. Please, like your kind has never killed before. But So that's it.
As long
As long as dear old daddy is the one who gives a command, it's righteous. But they're the sinners, Sinner? So how do you know the one I'm about to off is a sinner? Because you're... I flounder, the last of my words falters pathetically. Something sickening curls lower in my guts, my wings trembling slightly as I stare wide-eyed at both of them, because I'm a demon. Yes, I flinch when Cassius spits on the ground. Damned hypocrite. Cassius, my apologies, Ancient One, but I despise those who cannot think for themselves, spending their existence sitting on a cloud, can't do a single thing without a command, can't think of anything without orders. Tell me, Angel, what is right and what is wrong? Does being an angel ultimately make you righteous? Actually, it doesn't. What? If so, why do angels fall? A sob bubbles out of me. No, I don't. Pathetic. The child did not ask to be born, Cassius. Let it be. I apologize, Ancient One. I shall make preparations immediately. Good. There are a few details I must... Seeing that they no longer pay attention to me, I turn on my heels and quickly scurry to the door. Indeed, what is right and what is wrong? Was it wrong of me to try and save someone from being killed? Would I have felt so strongly about it if it was him who gave the order? I scrub my eyes furiously, but tears continue falling. I hate that a demon made me think like this. I hate it that it's his words that would make me cry. But is it fitting? Is it not? A creature of damnation seeking to find validations in the most heinous acts? Devil wouldn't kill me too, would she? Who knows? Once I cease to be entertaining, once she finds out that I've been lying, would the Ancient One reach the limit of her mercy and end me? The thought of dying here, where I know my prayers can't not reach him, scares me the most. Where would my soul go? Would anyone come to receive me, or am I already tainted beyond salvation? Something burns in my chest. I shiver down my wings on myself. This too shall pass, if you say that. If there's one thing good about the confrontation with that stupid demon, is that he made me realize something. I cannot sit still and wait for someone from home to get me out of this. I have to do something on my own. It makes me wilt inside a little, taking the words of a demon so seriously. All my life I've been following orders. Despite everything, there will always be some sort of instructional guideline that I can follow. But I'm not home anymore. There's nobody to tell me what to do, nobody that will give me guidance. I'm going to have to find a way out myself. Stealing my nerves, my shaking hand pushes the door open once again. Be honest. It seems that my devices are not functioning as they should here. The clipboard normally has a record function, you see, and it hasn't been working as well intended. I think my journey here was a bit bumpy, and the devices didn't react well to the conflict of energies. Some other functions don't work either. I was hoping to resolve the issues on my own, but I don't have the necessary equipment to deal with this matter. I'm just looking to fix some of the functions. I promise I won't cause you any problems. Breathe. Yes? A pain drop silent stretches between us, making the distance from where I stand to where Devil lunges seem far longer than it is. My wings twitch, nervousness fills my system. What's the worst that could happen? I do not see the harm. You may utilize the research hall to your purposes. Relief is instant and overwhelming. What? I may? Thank you. I'll try to resolve the issues quickly. With a low bow, I hastily scurried to the door before Devil could change her mind. Ah, okay, so this time around it is not being occupied for some odd reason. My knees almost buckle under me when I finally see a different scenery beyond the frame. The research hall is just as the name suggests. Rows of tables full of alchemical equipment span across the vast space. The walls are lined with shelves filled with books and carefully labelled components. It is well lit, and the steam tanks hum pleasantly in the background. This is it. I've finally gained access to the research hall. Maybe now I can... Hi there. Oh my. I'm afraid we don't have baby's first alchemy kits here for you, Nugget. Annoyance quickly overrides my excitement, leaving a sour feeling in my mouth. What in heaven are you doing here? Don't you have someone to kill? You assume, but I haven't killed that someone already. What? The imp has the gall to smirk at me. Angry, I back away, but hesitate as I near the door. I just got permission to enter. For me to return now, I don't know if Devil would simply revoke it. I know I can't risk it if I want to get anywhere here with my plan to return home. Just stay out of my way. Oh. Making up my mind to ignore the hilly, and I look for a far table to start my work. To my dismay, however, Cassius decides to follow. He is inquisitive as to what we're doing here. So what are you looking to work on? Not a gingerbread house, I hope. Ah, the silent treatment, I see. This damned demon. What do you want me to say? You've made your opinion of me perfectly clear the day before. You have your prerogative and I have mine. It would be both of our best interests that we stay out of each other's way. Is that so? Yes. I will retire to my room for now. I shall return when you are done with your work. Without another word, I turn to leave the room. Thankfully, Cassius doesn't make any further comment. I spend the rest of the day, if one can call it that, here, resting and finding myself a bit of food in the dining room. After getting affirmation from Death, I can finally enter the research hall. And it is very, very dark in here. Let's see what's going on. Keep checking the wall. As long as I'm careful, I should be able to find the switch. It has to be on the wall somewhere, right? Unfortunately, my hand continues flinching away from book spines and glass jars. There isn't a light switch here, is there? Huh? As I make my way closer towards a corner, my eyes catch a flickering dot of a candle. Lashing onto a spot of light, I carefully make my way through a nook in the wall. What the... The table I stand in front is, quite frankly, a mess. There are stains of every available surface. Some dried and old, some still look tacky, overlapping the occasionally charred marks. A pile of rags is shoved onto one side, sitting next to a box housing several questionable-looking small bottles of strange colours. Is that a skull? Oh, this just looks like a typical straight out of a Mortal Fiction's cultist table. The Lord gives me strength. Sitting in the middle of this mess is a cured box, scratched up and chipped. Curious, I flip open the lid. Nestled on top of purple velvet are two very cursed-looking objects. It looks like a stave of sorts and a grimoire. Well, about over one, so perhaps the wand is less so compared to the book. Heavens, this is definitely that imp's table, isn't it? I might not be an expert of the mystical arts, but I know enough to tell me that the wand isn't quite as demonic as I first thought. Elemental magic? I hover my fingers over it, feeling a shockingly refreshing curl of magic against my skin. It is a foreign feeling, yet familiar enough to make it difficult for me to pull away. It reminds me of the light, the sun of my skin, the wind in my hair, the rustling of leaves on a clear day, and the dancing rain of a summer afternoon. I really just want to go home. Is this the something interesting Cassius was talking about? I hope he won't corrupt it. Oh, hi. Wait a minute. In that bad end... No, it must have been something that Cassius spawned, but there could have been a knife there, like, from the dining room. We're going to take the wand. Something this pure can't possibly be in the possession of a demon. He would only break it or corrupt it. Would only pollute this small fragile thing. I can't let that happen. Carefully, so the winding thorns around the handle wouldn't hurt me, I lift the wand up from the velvet, then quickly shut the box. Heart hammering in my chest, I watch in fascination as the wand glows softly in my hand. Already brighter after being taken away from that clearly corrupted book. Alright, I'll keep you safe, I promise. I really shouldn't stick around here though. Tucking the wand into my pocket, I quickly make my way past research hall to the throne and back into my room, but Oh, I thought there was going to be somebody there. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Nah, maybe you should. You're taking some decisions on your own. But the idea of leaving something so pure in the hands of a creature so wicked sets off all kinds of alarms in my head. If Cassius finds out, well, I'll just have to deal with that later, I guess. Maybe this hasn't been a terrible decision. A wand, in theory, is a relatively easy tool to use. Yeah, if you're an angel, perhaps I could use this to help my quest to get home. If nobody skins me alive for doing this first. Day 15 of our adventures. I wonder where this leads to. Okay. Can I... Oh, but it's gonna be as... It's gonna be the same outcome, isn't it? Take a knife? I don't know what good this would do. What use would a knife be in a realm full of strange, powerful beings? Maybe I can use it for something else. It's not like I'm gonna stab anyone, right? Yeah, of course not. Clearly the knife has no answer for me. Shakily, I tucked the knife into my pocket, hoping that I wouldn't have to use it against anyone, not that it would give me an edge, damn it, over anyone here anyway. I don't trust you. Along with fear, there is a spark of irritation within me. Just as you said you don't trust me, I don't trust you either. Ever since we've met, you've always treated me with hostility. I might be weak, I might be young, but forgive me if I don't pander to you. We're both guests here. As far as I'm concerned, Defo is the owner of this place and not you. If she's fine with it, I don't see why me being here is any of your concern. You sure have a mouth on you. I only said what I wanted to say. What else do you want from me? Axon's eyebrows are drawn together so tight it might as well merge. But before she continues or do anything, the door opens and the demon comes in here. We'll leave this commotion this time around. I'm not about to get caught in the middle of this. Whatever quarrel they have doesn't involve me, and I don't have the mental capacity to deal with this. I need to find a different route. Might as well get something to eat while I wait for this to blow over. Exactly. What was that all about? Of course there's no one to answer me. Right, let's see what we have to do. Ah! You again? I thought you were just arguing, I stumble forward, almost falling onto my face when Axon suddenly enters behind me. You scared the feathers out of me! Interesting way to put it. Yes, because I have them. She brushes past me and into the kitchenette. Stiletto heels so muted on the soft carpet, not wanting to get in her way. I sit down at the table. If I didn't just see the heated argument moments ago, I wouldn't have thought anything happened with how composed Axon is. I'm going to do something and hold on, and ask, what happened out there? Axon's hands halt for a moment, right before resuming pulling out ingredients from the refrigerator. Cass has some objections over my project. What a hypocrite, like he has not done something similar before. Well, he is a demon. Indeed he is. That's a problem with you spiritual beings. Your values are always twisted to fit your narratives. What? We're nothing alike. He's a demon and I'm an angel, but there's still kind of the same approach here. This time she pauses. Different intentions, but the same angle. Turning to look at me, Axon raises an eyebrow. Aren't most demons just fallen angels? Well, that's... Not all of them are fallens. Some are twisted souls conceived by mortal sins, and some are simply formed in the bowels of heaven. Hell, sorry. Aren't angels the same, just in reverse? But it's still not the same. We're inherently not the same. You hate my kin, fine, but there's no reason to group us together with demons. We're literally two opposite ends of a spectrum. Yes and no. Axon hums non-commentedly. Turning back to her food, her flippant attitude makes my feathers puff up in anger. Oh yeah, that's gonna argue. Are you just saying all of that to rile me up? Why would I? You're biased then, if that's what you think of us and the demons. Sure, our history will always overlap, and that's a great shame, but we're not the same. I never said you are the same. You simply jumped to that conclusion when I said you're both our spiritual beings. That much is true, is it not? We're not hypocrites. Sure you aren't. Her voice is dripping with sarcasm, and it makes me bristle even more. Why am I sitting here, trying to argue my case with someone who despises my kind? She isn't going to change her mind no matter what I say. I don't have to feed into this. It's just going to make me more miserable and Axon more smug. I will not deny I hold a hatred for angels, but that does not mean I don't see both your values and flaws. Seems to me like you're adamant on pointing out the flaws. Difficult not to, when all you can see is the shining glow of your heavens and not its dark splotches. Perhaps it's true where you came from, but my heavens is nothing but righteous. Do not underestimate what I know. So you claim your heaven is nothing but righteous? That's right. What happens to its children then? Huh? What are you talking about? The children of your heavens, created and neglected, groomed to become the same drones since they were born, to follow and never question orders, to satisfy expectations that are never satisfied. That's what you call a hierarchy. Children just like you. No, it's not. Unable to stand her piercing gaze, I flee, tears stream down my face, burying my vision as I shove back into my room. Falling to my knees, I clutch at my chest, sobbing. As shattered as I feel, I can't even deny what Axon says. Or am I shattered because I know what she said is true? Day 11. How many more times are going to encounter that same bad end? So Axon is leaving the Yonder. It was unexpected, but she's a guest after all. She's bound to leave sooner or later. I still wonder if it's because of the outburst between her and Cassius, but that's quite frankly not my business to poke my nose into. I don't know how I feel about her departure though. I don't know how to feel about Axon in general. I had tenacity to lump all angels together, but she is so aggressive with me when she doesn't even know me. Then she just judges me based on her personal experiences with other beings. Well, if you have a personal experience with a particular thing and that particular thing has not been good to you, then it's very hard not to. We don't know about these characters. We don't even know about our protagonist, really. But despite her sneers, she has shown a softer side, too. Axon has arguably provided some form of companionable silence whenever I run into her in search of food. She has proven to be generous, even if she doesn't seem to acknowledge it. Indirectly generous. She also got Cassius to get away from me. I honestly wasn't expecting her to do that. It was the first time I felt like I had some sort of ally in Yonder. Today will mark the 11th day of my stay here. It would have been my 11th day of my job if I was still in heaven. Heavens above. What about ignoring the humming? Feeling like I'm intruding upon something, I quickly turn away and open the door again. Then we'll go in here. The dining room is blessedly empty. Letting out a sigh, drop myself into a chair. I'm not actually hungry, so I don't know what I'm doing here, but somehow it feels better than staying stuck in my assigned room. Tipping my head over the back of a chair, I stare at the ceiling. What am I doing? If I'm being completely honest, I'm not used to all this. Downtime. This lack of direction. Since I was younger, there's always been some form of activity to fill my days. Then when I got older, there would be small tasks and duties to be carried out in the preparations for my assigned or applied positions in heaven. Okay. It's nothing glamorous or magical like what humans would describe in their texts, but it fills me with a sense of purpose to not have the time to be alone with my own thoughts. What humans put down, like the writers of this game, being lost and alone all in one is a horrible feeling. I have a goal, but I have no way of knowing how to proceed it with it, without being bringing harm to myself. Of course, that could just be my paranoia talking. Devil hasn't even threatened me with anything yet, but there is just something very dissonant about her. Something about her that keeps me from jumping straight into the questions that I have. Even if there wasn't anything off about her, there's no guarantee that she'd just answer me either. Superior figures never like me when I ask too many questions. Well, that's not fair of me. Devil isn't my superior, and so far she has been, at the very least, cordial. She has answered several questions I have, and it's not her fault that I got myself into this situation. It's not her fault that I chose to lie. But we would never leave day one if we didn't lie. Sometimes it is tempting to lie. A lie can quickly get you out of a difficult situation. A lie can be a simple solution. Sometimes one would prefer a honeyed deception over the truth. That's called sugarcoating. Sometimes one would prefer to tell a lie to save face instead of being honest. The more you lie, the easier it will come to you. Exactly, because you always resort to that option. It's like you've grown up with lying, and that's the only thing that one can do. But lies can accumulate. Stacking one upon another is like a house of cards, and when it tumbles down, because it will tumble down eventually, the weight of them shall rival that of a great mountain. Alright. The sound of a door slamming closed interrupts my resonance. And it's you again. Ah, if it isn't the Nugget. Oh, come on. What's a girl gotta do to have a little peace and quiet around here? Now, no need to get so excited. I know I'm quite the sight to behold. Yes, but not in the way that you're thinking, Cassius. Oh, get off it. How forward I will. You filthy son of a bat. Damn it. Obnoxiously, he breaks into laughter. What kind of insult was that? Ugh. Angrily, I stand, ready to storm out of the room, but the stupid demon blocks the door with a spread of his left wing. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Devil is having a private guest, and she wouldn't want to be disturbed. I glower at him, but the demon doesn't budge, meeting my glare head-on with amusement dancing in his golden eyes. You're lying. I might be, but do you want to take that chance? Of course I would. I mean, honestly, who would think that there would be somebody out there as a guest? I would never take the word of a demon. Smirking, Cassius shrugs and folds his wings. With a mocking bow, he gestures grandly at the door. With a huff, I turn my nose and go to open the door. Huh? No matter how I yank at the handle, the door doesn't budge. Told ya. Ugh! Suddenly, I sit back down, keeping a suspicious eye on the demon as he shuffles around the kitchenette. For a moment, I thought he was going to cook, but Cassius, after several minutes of rummaging through every drawer and not even bothering to put anything back, cries out triumphantly and tosses a rather heavy hemp bag onto the table. It lands with a heavy clack, a breath whiff away from my fingers. Hey, watch it! Whoops. Want some? What are these? Colourful candies in bewilderment? I thought these were jewellery, or at least, I don't know what I was thinking there, jewellery. I stare at the offered piece of colourful candy in bewilderment. You've got to be kidding me! Let's be, at least, cordial here. No one's to back down from a clearly too smug of his own good demon. I snatch a piece of candy from his hand. Infuriatingly, the imp winks. You're welcome. Plopping himself down in the seat in front of me, Cassius stretches his wings and kicks his feet onto the table. Hey! You're getting dirt all over! What dirt? From your feet! Where else? Casually, he tosses a candy into his mouth, heedless of my annoyance. I'll have you know, Miss Nugget, the Yonder has no dust, and I'd rather get buried in angel feathers than let any dust touch me. I'm not sure if that's directed at us, or just simply the fact that they would rather have angel wings than dust touch him. Although if there is no dust in Yonder, then please consider me in, because we all hate dust. One of the perks of being able to fly. You dreadful overgrown goat. The thing is, would you rather be called a goat or a bat? This is highly inappropriate. You speak as if I'm drunk. Oh gosh. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say those two words together. You. It seems my anger amuses Cassius greatly as he throws back his head and laughs. I often forgot how you younger ones can be so funny. I'm glad you're enjoying being an annoyance. He waves me off easily, not any less than your superiors, I'm sure. You dare. Easily. Come now, even you can't deny that you have a whole superiority complex going on. No pun intended, even though they're little more than glorified hounds of your version of a god. Oh, that's it. I'm gonna argue with all my might. Do you have anything better to say rather than jeers and insults? Cassius shrugs non-commentedly. That's what I'm meant to do, aren't I? That takes me aback, though not in a good way. You're just saying these things to rile me up. I won't stoop down to your level. Too late. You've already sent insults flying, no takebacks. Ugh. Why do you have to be so juvenile? Aren't you supposed to be older than me? Don't you know they say age makes the heart younger? No. You mean a man growing old becomes a child again? What kind of dumb saying is that? Sophocles is one of the greatest tragedians of my world. You uncultured swine! Attar's... Oh, the only tragedy here is his terrible wording. At least his words are remembered and celebrated, unlike you who only has uncouth things to spew and spawn. Now who is insulting who? Angrily I storm off, ignoring the stupid imp's raucous laughter. The door thankfully opens, letting me shut that annoying sound off behind me. Freaking demon. Goddamn demon. Well, this is a little different so far. In this, what you would call route, we interact with Axan and Cassius a bit more than usual, but I'm still getting the feeling that we're going to end off with a bad end anyways. Let's learn more about people rather than locations. Who, Finian is? You wish to know about Finian? Yes. You can tell Finian is a celestial. Well, yes. It's quite difficult to mistake the glow. Indeed. Finian is something between a minor deity and a fee by your world standards. I suspected as much. Do they visit frequently? As often as the Yonder allows, and as often as they need the Yonder. So frequent then. You can say so. You don't like Finian? It is simply exhausting sometimes to wait for consequences I know will happen. Huh? You will understand soon enough. Alright, it's different here. I was just thinking about how different it is here compared to home. In a good or bad way. Both. Well, I mean, both places have their perks, and there's, well, the lighting and, no need to fret so much. I understand. You do? It is rather clear, is it not? What you think about the Yonder. That is quite alright. Everyone should be allowed their opinion. Exactly. But what if such opinions are wrong? There's no such thing as a right or wrong opinion. Immediately after saying that, I want to stuff the words back down my throat. Why? Well, as they say, as the saying goes, everything has its consequences, no? You are rather distracted today. My apologies. And take the rest of the day off as you plot to kill me. This is our second encounter here, or outside of the throne room, so it's bound to be third, because of the beginning of the game. What do you want? Can I be honest? Can you? He, of course, ignores my jab. I'm hitting a wall with my research, so I'm looking for a distraction. And here you are. Glad to know I could be of assistance, indirectly. Now, can you please leave me alone? Come now, don't be such a little fuddy-duddy. We had a bit of a rough introduction, but I'll have you know I'm pretty great at all this stuff. Right, all this stuff isn't the greatest boost of confidence. Yeah, details. It's not the first time I've had such an unconventional team-up anyway. Maybe this can be a learning opportunity for you too. If I narrowed my eyes any further, they would be closed. Thoughts and distrust race through my head. On one hand, Cassius is a demon, a self-serving, sinful creature, an angel's natural enemy, if you will. To accept help from one would be going against so many of our values. I might as well commit treason against heaven. On the other hand, I have no idea what I'm doing. The technical part aside, this research hall is a completely new domain. Even though I've gotten permission, I don't want to make a complete disaster here and risk getting killed. I'm thinking that the bad end could be refused. Thank you for your offer, but given the nature of what I need to do, I think it's best if we keep our interests separated. How polite. I should mess with feathered eggheads more often. You do know how to let a guy down softly. What? You. With a flamboyant flick of his wings, casts his moves to the other side of the hall and disappears through a nook in the wall. Great. Mumbling under my breath, I shake my head and look at the task at hand. I know what I need to do. The problem is how to do it. Alright, Flaris, you can do this. Just need to get organized. Nodding myself, I set out to study a layout of the hall, noting down where all the supplies are. It's a bit of a daunting task, but with some time I hope I can fix the device on my own and finally make my way home. Yeah, I would think giving the device is a bad idea, but still we skipped to day 15. I don't like this, but I'm glad that Axen and Castius are not here. It seems that Axen has already left. Deathworld is not alone when I step through the door, so it is a requirement to talk to Axen more often, I would believe, or ignore Deathworld for a bit of time throughout the game and then go from there. So what I think is, if you listen to her humming, then that is a death flag of a sort. Deathworld is not alone when I step through the door. Why, hello there, Flaris. Oh, hi, Finian. Quite a task you have for me today. Couldn't Rubius do it instead? This is your due, not his. The smile freezes on Finian's face into something brittle and sharp, but that expression was gone in a flash. Right as always. Should I come back later? On the contrary, my dear. You are with me today. Isn't that exciting? Are we? What? You are gaining access to another room today, Flaris, and Finian shall be your guide. I trust you shall do well in their capable hands. Yes, Excellent. This way, would ya? I jumped a little when Finian reached out to snatch up my hand. I have to suppress a shudder at the contact. Finian is cold. So very cold to the touch. They also leave me no time to protest as they pull me through the door. Wait, Okay, pretty, isn't it? Pretty is an understatement. The structure before me is grand and elegant enough to be part of heaven. A scene high enough to fly around, columns intricately etched with images of blooming flowers, and great arcs of glass windows that offer stunning views of the night sky outside. And the crystals. Rows of softly glowing blue crystals protrude from the floor, looking both like blades and like budding flowers. The other death flag trigger could also be asking about the Hall of Memory before you are ready for it. And this is the Hall of Memories right here. Faint energy hums from each of them, making my hair stand on end, but not in a bad way. No, I feel inexplicably drawn to them, as if they are something to protect, something to treasure. Do you know where this is? Well, this is the Hall of Memory, because the nightmare we had one time said we shouldn't be here. The Hall of Memory? Indeed. Everyone who the Yonder deems worthy of staying must enter this hall. So if we get abandoned, obviously we're not worthy of staying. It is an honor, so don't bow or anything. I got Finian feeling terribly conscious. Should we be a drone, or should we do our own intentionings by bowing? No, let's be a rebel. Who should I bow to then? Deveril? You? We'll work on that later. What is the purpose of the Hall of Memory then? This is the place where memories of the Yonder's extended guests are stored. Free to access by others. Free to store whatever you wish. A semi-public library, if you may. A place to store and access memories? That sounds almost like the mortal's favourite devices for computer. Hey now, how dare you mock us? And I have access to all of this? Indeedly do. But it's not as free as advertised. I knew that there would be a price to pay. but it's starting to give me a headache. How so? It's an part trade, of course. Aha! In order to access a memory of someone here, you must store a piece of memory in return. I take a stumbling step back. Does that mean I'll lose that piece of memory? Of course not, silly. That'd be too easy. It's more like copy and paste rather than cut and paste. The Hall will simply make a copy of that memory, and here it shall stay. Exactly, a copy, not a cut. Forever. Or for as long as Yonder exists, that is. And that's the gist of it. Any question? Yeah, about this please. Baffled by Thenian's rapid-fire explanation, I have to take several moments to compose myself. Several questions surface on mine, but there are some of them that are more important than the others. Okay, I'm going to go on the whim and ask all of these questions from top to bottom. What's the purpose of this place? The purpose, of course, is to learn all these pristine memories and experiences from vastly diverse individuals for you to explore without having to commit the deed yourself. Who would say no to that? Knowledge is power. Guard it well, right? I guess so. There is a minimal length and maximum length for the memories you'd like to store at a time, of course. What do you think this is? A university assignment? We have a minimum cap and a maximum cap of the letters we can use. And it can't just be something as mundane as going shopping or doing your morning routines. It's got to be something significant. Like getting into a relationship with somebody, kissing with them for the first time, and other things. It has to be something of emotional and or psychological value, like when your parents died or something. That's just an example. The Hall will also determine which stored memory is equal to the one you have traded in. Some kind of magnitude behind that. So, for example, if one person's mother unfortunately dies, then it has to be with somebody else that, let's say, had their father unfortunately died. Something like that. It has to have some kind of equal or similar weighting behind it. So no cheating there. I wasn't planning to. Just saying. Just as a precaution, are you in charge of this place? What makes you ask that? I remember you asking about the Hall of Memory before, and Devil told you to explain it to me, so assuming is bad, you know. Exactly, but no, I am not. I would love to, though. Alas. Right? What am I supposed to do here? That is entirely up to you. You now have full access to the Hall and all the memories that Yonder's extended guests left here, sorry. You can learn some pretty interesting stuff. Some memories are pretty gnarly, and some might even bring tears to your eyes. For I don't imagine that would be too difficult. Hey, are you saying that we easy to cry? Right. But in order to view these memories, I have to trade in or put in a copy of mine, right? That's what I said. But yes, you are free to visit, view memories and store your own, if you wish. Have lunch here or something. But I'd highly recommend against trying to sabotage anything here. The last one who tried met a pretty gruesome end. Was it by Devil or by you by any chance? Yeah, no, I wouldn't be doing that. Are there memories of Devil here? Of course there are. In fact, her memories are the most viewed ones here. The Mistress of Yonder is quite popular, don't you know? I would imagine so, since she is kind of the centre of it all. Right. And are there consequences to viewing her memories? Yes and no. You know, just the standards with every other piece of memory here. With a side of nightmares and confusing internalized questions here, obviously. Alright. Is the Hall of Memory just storage? I wouldn't think so. In a sense, but it's different. Would you like to have a try? A description would be enough for now. What a killjoy. Come on! You either don't participate or you do participate. There is no middle ground. How do I describe this? When you store your memories here, it would be like storing a film footage. recording your point of view without the emotions attached. Okay, so it's just the visuals rather than the psychological, because the psyche of the memory differs between the individual. And that goes for everyone who uses the hall. The memory will remain pristine without the wear and tear of time, exactly how you witnessed it at that certain point in your life. Kind of like the pyramids, very unscathed and untouched. Huh? That's actually pretty handy, isn't it? Especially useful if you're looking to condemn someone. Uh-huh. But the hall also has a special function, one that you have to take up to management. That is devil, of course. And what would that function be? Why, to completely erase the memory you've given to the hall from your mind, of course. So it's like erasing your memories either here or in your mind, as to create a complete clean slate. That can be done. Of course, in fact, many come to Yonder just for this hall alone, to forget, yet somehow keep that certain memory unmarried. Can you imagine the amount of masochists who would love that? Damn. Can I store my memories without looking at others? I suppose you could. My, how eager. Of course you can. That being said, the amount of memories you store will accumulate, and you can trade in any length of the amount you stored to view the amount equal to that of others. I have no further questions. Goody, here you go. Finian hands over a strange key. It is cool to the touch, thrumming with energy. The stone embedded on it glows softly, pulsing in sync with the rest of the hall's crystals. When you decide to use the Hall of Memories' function, simply go to the crystal with your name on it and open the lock with this key. Once your pillar is activated, you may use the key to access other memories. But thank you. You are very welcome. Now that's done, I have other things to tend to. Bye-bye. Bye-bye for now, Finian. Finian is gone before I could say a word. Turning the key in my hand, I begin walking down rows of glowing crystals. Each pillar is etched with a name. Some familiar, some not. None of them look different from the others, not even Deferos. I suppose in a way that is not to distinguish each other's. A memory bank, huh? Soon enough I come to stand before my own crystal pillar, the only one not glowing within the hall because it has yet to have a memory stored within it. Flerus is neatly etched at the base, and a small keyhole near the top. This is it, huh? Unlock the pillar. We're not going to chicken out of this one. Taking a deep breath, I insert the key and turn. At first, nothing happens. Ah! Flerus, Angel, age 208. Bloody hell, that's old. Terror, Heaven. Access granted. Welcome to the Hall of Memory. The hall dims into its soft blue lighting again. Before me, the crystal pillar bearing my name is glowing softly. Kind of feels like a swearing in. Thank you? The disembodied voice doesn't answer. Letting out a sigh, I pull out the key and tuck it into my pocket. There are still so many questions, so many things I feel like I must do. Though as I walk out of the hall, I can't help but the feeling that somehow I am finally on the right track. I would like to know more about... Oh, we can't access Cassius or Deverell. That must mean we're either not ready yet, or we have made the wrong decisions to do so. Axan, confirm. And that's... Okay. I feel like there also has some kind of... I wouldn't call it a romance thing, but there's also some kind of trust that needs to happen with the characters. And because we don't have enough trust with Cassius and Deverell, then we won't be able to access their memories. But if we have none of their trust, or a lack of trust with each, or with one of the characters to be able to access their memories, then it goes to the bad end. But if we get at least one of them, then we can access their memories. I woke up with a headache. Yes, the throbbing behind my eyes is somewhat painful, but I feel more irritated about it than anything. Maybe it has something to do with my empty stomach. I've read about it before, how humans tend to get cranky and fatigued when they're hungry. You do not want to mess with somebody when they're hungry. It's an emotion. It's an emotion, actually, sorry. There's 3 kinds of emotions. There's happy, angry, and hungry. And hungry usually falls under angry. The fact that I'm exhibiting such behaviours makes it worse. I was going to go to the dining room yesterday, but after that whole ordeal with the Hall of Memory, I was too in shock to remember anything else, as ironic as that might be. I ended up tossing and turning for a long while before succumbing to a restless sleep, which no doubt is the reason behind my headache. Seems like destination for today is pretty clear. The dining room is blissfully quiet. I let out a sigh of relief. I don't want to deal with anyone today before I have to eat something. Preferably not more of the dry and tough rations, though. Alas, that's all I have right now. I kind of miss Acton's presence around here. Sure, she can be a bit prickly, but she always allows me to eat with her. Some fresh, hot food would be amazing. My eyes stray over to the recipe box sitting at the corner of the counter as I debate my options. Now, we're going to try cooking, but we're not going to try cooked chicken wings. Taking a deep breath, I go to the recipe book. But it's a bit more difficult and dangerous than dealing with the alchemical stuff, right? It depends on where your speciality is. And it depends on what you think is difficult or not. Maybe I should start with something simple, exactly. But less steps and less ingredients, but less trouble I might encounter. I wouldn't necessarily say so. Even if there's like only 2 or 3 steps, each step has to be very, very meticulous. Preferably something quick to make. Great, like instant noodles. After scouring through a seamlessly endless box and cross-checking the ingredients stored here, I feel very hopeful about making an omelette. Ah, yes. Alright, bacon, check. Cheese, check. Butter, check. Onion, check. Eggs, check. The main ingredient, though, eggs. These are nothing like the eggs I know, and both are quite large, each the size of my fist put together. They may be an ostrich egg, or a dodo egg. Who knows what exists in these plains? Just one of these would be enough to make an omelette, right? I shall pick the black egg. Between a green egg and a black egg. You know what? Since it's already weird, let's get weird all What's weird about picking a black egg over a green egg, for goodness sakes? Like, it's about the intricate details that's inside the egg, not what's on the outside of it. Besides, I'm pretty sure eggshells are not supposed to be green under any circumstances. Here goes nothing. Oh. To my pleasant surprise, the yolk is a nice, vibrant golden orange. A perfectly normal colour that an egg should look like. Alright, let's now get to it. Where do we start? Now that looks quite nice. After painstakingly following the recipe step by step, I can't believe my eyes. I did it! I cooked! Fragrant, fluffy, stuffed, full of cheese and bacon, the omelette looks good enough to die for. And I made it myself. Hehehe, not too bad for a first timer, huh? Now all that's left to do is to dig in. As I take my meal to the table, the door opens. Axan? Angel, I see you have learned how to cook. But, well, it's nothing fancy like what you usually make, but it is a first step. But I'm glad I was able to make this myself. Good. Learning new skills is always beneficial. Yeah. Well, she offered us some. And it's her tradition as well, so let's try and have some kind of appeasement here. Would you like some? No. There does not seem to be enough, and I plan to make my own meal. Thank you for offering, though. Exactly, it's the courtesy behind it. Right, of course. You're back earlier than I thought. Oh, were you concerned? Were we concerned? Just a little bit. Of course I was. Especially with the way she lived. That was the first time I've witnessed such a confrontation here. But I don't think Axon would appreciate it if I say that. A little. There was, quite the tension. And you care because... Oh, I'm sorry, it's none of my business, of course. I was just worried about you. I am alright. That's good. Flustered with my clumsy words, I decided to keep my attention on my food as Axon putters around, preparing her own. I really shouldn't be going so long without a proper meal. I tend to put my foot in my mouth enough even with when coherent, sorry. With a sigh, I finish my meal and go back to wash up as Axon takes my place at the table. Would you like some more? I give the decadent meal a mournful look and shake my head. I should have waited a little. That looks much better than what I had. Don't underestimate your own cooking, even if you only ever started cooking for the first time, protagonist. Everything Axon makes always looks so good. It's a shame I didn't get to try some today, but I'm sure there'll be other opportunities. Now, with my hunger sated and my head cleared, I debate on what I should do next. Right now, there are two places that my interests are most vested: in the Hall of Memory and the Research Hall. The latter, for obvious reasons, the former because I've never encountered anything like that in my 200 years of existence. Do I want to be distracted or should I focus on my project? Ah, Axon! The clipboard responds. So her age is 1429. But what does the 8564 stand for? And the A&E? That's not action and emergency. Miss nothing. Did it just... I frantically tap at the surface trying to figure out if any of the other functions work. Nope. That's a no. Seems like this is my sign to keep working on the devices then. I heave over to the research hall, setting to spend the rest of the day on the project. Goodness sakes, it's day 17, but alas, we have found our way out of the loophole that is the bad end in which Cassius accidentally kills us. So there are two things there that could trigger the bad end that we kept getting over and over. Number one, it's down to the humming that Deathroll does, but I think that is less likely. But of course, with that comes with a price of not interacting with Axon or Cassius again. But the other more prominent one, which I believe could be the case, is asking about Finian rather than asking about the Hall of Memory, because I believe that could also be an intricate flag towards whether you go into a bad end or you continue with the game. But I think with my interaction with Cassius within the research hall proves that if I chose the agree rather than decline one, then I could have had access to Cassius's memories instead, or have the option of being able to select Cassius. But then again, what could I also done differently to ensure that I could have had access to Deathroll's memories? It could have been done with the whistling, actually. I'm starting to think about how that could have been an actual flag. Because ask about the Hall of Memory before you're actually ready for it. That could definitely be it. Thank you so much for watching, people, and see you all in the next time of Yonder World. Very, very mysterious as to what's going on here. It's almost like we're learning more, but at the same time we're getting more questions rather than answers to things that we've encountered. Definitely a mystery with Deathroll, though. She is definitely the most enigmatic character here, because she's at the center of everything. But at the same time, we're all at the center of our own beings and destinies. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves.